Is that for me?
Maybe.
I guess you approve of this job.
I do.
I guess you approve of what I'm doing today.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Golly gee. Yeah. I didn't even say, hey, Kool-Aid! And she did not say what? Oh, yeah.
Oh, none of that.
Huh?
None of that.
Can we reenact that, though? And I say, hey, Kool-Aid! And you say, oh, yeah. And you got to skip down the hill towards me.
Hey, Kool-Aid!
Oh, yeah. Here, try it. Let's try it.
No.
That'll be fun. Please, just do it. Please, just do it. I will say, hey, Kool-Aid!
You're going to lose all your Kool-Aid then.
Just try to skip soft. Okay, this is going to be fun. Man, I'm beat. I could sure use something refreshing. Hey, Kool-Aid! Now you got to say, oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Not the same.
I don't guess you were around in those days.
It sounded like, oh, yeah. I wasn't
That was
running
the-
through a wall, bursting through the
That was the
scene.
commercial back in my days. I don't guess you would know what I was. Thanks for trying. Thank you for trying. Voodoo's hanging out with Dixie, which is a really nice thing. But look who's not feeling it. Ooh-wee! Beverly is not happy about that. And she has purposely put herself into a spot, a corner, if you will, right there between two pine trees to show her displeasure. In the meantime, Dixie is really enjoying a chit-chat with old Voodoo. And it makes you wonder what kind of things Dixie and Voodoo are talking about. They don't know. Beverly's, y'all, don't forget, Beverly is still a minor. She's a little girl. And sometimes little girls can't be a part of adult conversations. What makes me feel kind of sad is I'm wondering if Dixie's sharing stories of the old days. Maybe she's talking about the old times, some of the old trail rides, some of the times that she's pulled wagons behind her in trail rides. Sweetie, you want to talk about the old times too? And Dixie doesn't want to talk to you about the old times. Voodoo, here. So Dixie might have been telling Beverly and Voodoo about her final wishes. And then it's possible that Beverly just could not stand to listen. Beverly could not stand to listen to Dixie's final wishes. That could be what happened. And Voodoo is mature, and he's like, okay, Dixie, whatever you want me to do to carry out your final wishes, you let me know. And Beverly's like, I don't want to hear it. I just don't want to talk about it. I don't want to, this is not happening. This is not happening. And that's how a lot of people get. There are, I know I don't mean to make light of a very serious subject, but Dixie is dying. And we already know, we've talked about it a number of times, that the Beverly here will have a harder time with that passing than anyone else will. A lot of the other animals realize that it's just a part of life and it happens, but for little ones, they don't get it. They don't understand how hard life can be. They have not experienced loss. And then once you get older, and you know, loss becomes easier. But we're going to take care of Beverly, y'all. Don't worry about her. But she's going to hurt her hardest, her roughest days are up ahead. They are. Well, good morning, friends. Lester and Jamie here. We got horses out on purpose. We are going to light us a big old fire here in a few minutes. And we're taking a break from the culvert project because there's some materials that I need and I don't want to drive in on a Sunday morning to get them. But instead, we're going to focus our attention on working on this side of the greenhouse today. I'm going to get my tractor and, well, Jamie's going to burn this.
I can't stand this. I can't make a video because this has been in my video.
Yeah, well, this is over here as an accumulation of a lot of things that we've been wanting to burn for a while. That is the old green rug that the puppies, Christmas's babies, were born and raised on. And guys, we've tried everything and we cannot get the smells out of it. Those puppies peed and pooped and everything. And so we had to roll it up and toss it into a fire. But that's not the focus, even though it's probably everyone's just like, they're just staring at our trash. It's just staring at all of our trash.
It's hard not to see it.
It's hard not to. But I'm going to get my tractor and spread out this clay today. And then I'm going to get around back behind that big pile of old timber, push it around and burn it. Problem is I cannot get too close to the greenhouse because, babe, I believe that stuff will melt. So I got to keep it far away. I think that we're fine over here. There's a couple more posts we can put into that. So once I get...
I'm thinking that maybe you should just slowly stack it on here. And
this far away?
yeah.
That's
Well,
just...
there's no plastic that's right here.
Yeah.
Plastic is close, but this side has all the plastic in it.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So I'm glad Jamie's here. Babe, will you do me a favor?
Yeah.
And let's talk about your big garden, your big eventual garden.
Okay.
So let's talk about the erosion issue first from the hillside. From this point, you can already see in only one rain since we've completed this project, in one rain, water comes pouring off this hill and it goes in this direction over here.
Right here.
Yeah, so Jamie has what she thinks might be a solution, one that you've probably seen on a lot of the National Geographic channels when it shows other countries. I'm thinking like Vietnam, Thailand, where they plant fields on hills.
Yeah.
They literally plant fields onto hills. So let's walk over and show them about the length you're going to have it. So once we get all of this area cleaned up, now this is a nice little, what would you say, about 30 feet across to the shop?
Yeah.
And then once we get all this debris cleaned up, you're looking at probably 50 yards or so of length. And so this entire area will be cleaned up nice and beautiful. Just this green spot here between the boat and this pine tree, all of this will be made into a lawn garden, similar to what Stephanie has.
Except for ours will be sort of in like...
Steeps, I think they call them
Like-
steps.
Yeah, it'll be kind of like steps, or I was going to say like cake layers, basically.
Yeah.
Like tier, you know, it would be like probably a 4-tiered cake, basically, going...
Beverly is walking right down that driveway. Now, I bet you didn't know this about donkeys. I bet you did too, though. Donkeys are the most sure-footed of all animals, donkeys and mules. You know that if you think about those shows you've seen where they have to transport supplies through mountainous terrain, they don't use cows or oxen. They don't use horses. They have pack mules or pack donkeys, and they will load them down, guys. They have an amazing ability to carry weight distributed correctly, and then they're just so darn sure-footed. Now, we've never packed our donkeys down with anything, and we would never do that. I have let the kids sit on their backs plenty of times, but, you know, those are kids. All right, so I got most of the fire, all of the old fire remnants pushed over to the pile. That's far enough away from that pine tree, far enough from my fence, and far enough from the greenhouse so when I light it up a little bit later, it won't melt or burn anything. I don't want to kill my trees. So we're a good 20, 30 feet in all directions from everything. So we're going to be fine right there. Now I'm going to go spread out all of this clay. All right, so I think I did a pretty good job of sort of consolidating, pushing our burn pile into this pile of, these are all the trees that we cut down here when we cleaned this area up to build the greenhouse. I'm gonna take all these 2x4s that were used for foundation work, toss them into that spot right there, and then we're gonna build us a fire, friends. We're gonna build us a fire. What I may do, I didn't realize it when I was on the tractor, I may come by and push this one little nook. I have this one little nook over here that's kind of close to the pine tree. I don't think it'll be an issue, but go ahead and push that a little bit closer. And I know we're far enough away from the greenhouse. We're far enough away from the shop, the garage there, and the fence. I'm not gonna have any issues with anything over there. I got a little bit of hand work to do now, a little bit of leg work, they call it, and picking up all of these things and tossing them into the pile. And then I think that we'll get our fire going. So I'm standing halfway between my fire and our greenhouse, which is my biggest concern. And luckily the wind is blowing against us, blowing everything that way. So we're not dealing with any heat here. I can't even feel the heat, and I'm this far away. So I think we're gonna be fine. And if I have to, I can always get my tractor and push. Even though it's burning, you're not gonna burn the bucket of the tractor. Whenever you do push around a fire, which happens quite often, really, more than what you realize, you have to make sure you don't get that flame anywhere close to your hydraulic hoses. Hydraulic hoses are not, hydraulic fluid is not flammable, but still you don't want to burn your hoses or even, you know, get them into the heat. So if you can put your bucket just right and push, and that happens all the time. But your bucket is pure steel. It's nothing that's gonna melt. But let's hope that we can burn it right here and not have to worry about pushing anything. Once it burns down to where there's just very little left, I'll go ahead and repile it again. And I'll keep repiling and burning until we have nothing left. If you're like me, you're probably curious about how flammable or how resistant to heat this fiberglassy stuff is. I'm also equally curious, so I found a couple of pieces here, and we're gonna walk over and put this on the fire and see if they melt or what actually happens. There's another one right there. I love doing stuff like this. All right, we're gonna set these right on top here so we can watch them and see if they melt. They're definitely melting. They are definitely melting. So, nope, you would not want to get fire anywhere near that sucker, because it would definitely melt the walls right off. Look at that. I am gonna walk over and just stand next to the barn just to see how hot it is over here. See if I feel any heat whatsoever. And I actually, no, not. So this is how far away I am from the barn. I'm here in the corner, and I feel no heat here either. So we got a good fire. We did a good thing right there, guys. We did a good thing. Made us a good fire. And I'm gonna come by now by hand and move a couple of pieces of scrap things around. I see an old piece of something over there I'm gonna throw into the fire, but that's all gonna be done by hand. And clean this area up real nice. Eventually get it all smoothed out to where when I mow, I can come by and mow through here and keep it all, you know, that's what it takes to slowly work it into your yard. I wish I had a picture to show y'all how this area here looked before compared to how it looks now. Darn it. I just want it known that this was Jamie's idea. That's Trixie's idea. But this is Jamie's idea. I don't know. So lots going on with everybody. And listen, this over here is get out of the trash. No, ma'am. This over here is Dixie's idea. So a lot of different ideas going around today. A lot of different babies doing their own thing, and that's fine. I don't mind as long as they're enjoying their day. It is the weekend, y'all. It's the weekend, and sometimes we like to get a little crazy on the weekends. But all I know is that I woke up this morning and Jamie was bathing Voodoo. So she had brought him out of the pasture to bathe him. At some point, Voodoo wanted to go inside with Dixie. So she let Voodoo inside with Dixie. Then Dixie wanted to come out. So she let Dixie out. And then, of course, when Dixie comes out, Beverly comes out. So now we have Dixie, Voodoo, and Beverly running around the yard, running around the pastures, just doing whatever. Then all of a sudden now I turn around and I see that both Bucky's and Ivy are also out. So hey, I'm not trying to get out of mowing the yard. I am going to mow this yard today. But if they want to help Dad, then that's fine. I'm not going to complain. All right, so we got everything weed eated and mowed. The yard looks wonderful, except for that right there. That was a stuffed animal that I run over accidentally. That wasn't the main focus of the video, though. Over here is what we really wanted to talk about. I got all the old fire pile. Now, we never burned anything there that could leave nails or screws or broken glass. We always made sure that we only burnt things that were burnable. Now, there are some bricks that I pushed up into the big pile. And what I'm going to do is go ahead and just burn the heck out of that sucker and just let all of that old stuff, all the timber and weeds and trash and just wood, some of the scraps from this project over here, just burn all that together. And what it will leave me with is a little scrap pile, including a lot of those bricks. And what I think I may do is eventually scoop that up with the tractor over here and take it and use it to fill in spots where we're having some erosion issues. Things that are not around the house that's going to get in my way. I don't want to run over bricks when I'm trying to mow. But I also went around back behind here and cleaned everything up. I spread out that pile of clay best I could. It's still a little bit wet from all the rain we've had, so I really couldn't do, I didn't want to get a bunch of ruts in this part of the yard. But I did get it cleaned up enough to where we can hopefully get some grass to growing. I can start mowing it and kind of cultivating it to look beautiful. And yeah, I would say it was a very productive day. Let me go ahead and walk you around the rest of the yard, show you how pretty things are, how blessed we are. I may still, there's a stump there. I realized after I began to push it around, there's an old stump there. You can see it. So what I might do is continue to burn a fire here every once in a while to try to burn that stump out. But I'll also have to at some point move all of this mulch and these cinder blocks over here closer to where we're going to need them once we start doing her gardens. Yeah, I hate that, man. Them dogs drag stuff around. Looky here. I was able to manage to not run over all of this, but so pretty. The yard is so darn pretty. We're so blessed for this property and how beautiful things clean up. I think it's funny. Now, I haven't weeded over here yet. So you are probably saying, it doesn't like you've done much trimming to me at all, Lester. No, Lester hasn't. Lester turned off his mower and jumped right back on my tractor to do a few things. But everything looks wonderful. I don't see Jamie because she's been a big part of this cleanup day. And I will say it gave my body a bit of a break. There she is. That's her. There she is out there. We mowed both of the smaller pastures that where Carl's at and the one over there next to him. But we did not get in here where the horses are at today. Jamie wanted to pile some sticks up, which is what she's doing now. You can see a big old pile she got going there. And we didn't want to run over those with the mower and end up messing something up. We just got our mower back from having it serviced and repaired. But I'll tell you what, it's been a good day. It's been a very productive day. And even though we didn't go do anything on our cattle guard project, we quote unquote gave our bodies a break. Yeah, that's some break, huh? Anyway, I want to thank y'all for watching, and we will catch you guys on the next video, huh?
Don't let your troubles fester. Come watch Longhorn Lester.
Yeah, something like that.